Another day of questioning continues for the judicial inquiry into the death of Eric Garner. The New York Post reporting the two NYPD police officers testified yesterday about their involvement in his arrest. Several others are also expected to testify today and in the coming weeks. Garner's mother, Gwen Carr, and other activists requested the inquiry, hoping it would create a measure of public accountability for his death, which took place back in 2014.
As you know, this happened to me almost 6 years ago. And this is just opening up an old wound, pouring salt into it. They keep coming into, the police officers come into our neighborhoods. They brutalize, they terrorize, they murder our children, and we have done nothing.
There are probable cause right now. You have a deceased person. You have a tape showing how he was deceased. You have a tape showing the other 3 police did nothing to prevent it. Then they should tell these 4 police what they tell all of us in the hood. Tell it to the judge.
Wow, a lot to unpack there. And here to help us do just that, we're bringing in attorney Carrie Ann Burke. She's also a political strategist. Carrie Ann is no stranger to BNC Live. Always a pleasure having you. So Carrie Ann, strong words from his mother. Let's just get right to the heart of it. What is a judicial inquiry, and what makes this one so unique?
Well, a judicial inquiry stems from our New York City charter. For viewers who are not familiar with New York City, the charter is equivalent to, say, the Constitution of the United States. And that is giving you the governing rules and regulations and procedures of how the city operates. Judicial inquiry is under the section 1109 of the charter, which allows for private citizens to bring forth a claim in court for them to investigate into whether misconduct was or neglect was occurring in this particular matter in the Eric Garner case, or any government official if it's a broader inquiry. And that is exactly what Eric Garner's mother did, as well as 4 other individuals, I believe, petitioned the court, and it was granted.
So the family's been trying to get this, they've been trying to have this inquiry done for years. One, why the pushback from the city, and why now?
Well, the pushback obviously is sometimes a little political, and also they wanted to protect the mayor as well as some of the commissioners from testifying. However, they exhausted all of their legal recourse. So they went through the trial, which was the criminal trial that we all witnessed nationally speaking. We all saw it for what it was. There was administrative proceedings in which one of the officers actually was removed from the force. And then there was the federal proceeding, which was basically denied. No civil action was brought by the federal prosecutor. So they went through all the different levels. In between, there was different FOIL requests. And for individuals who do not know what that acronym stands for, is Freedom of Information Law, which allows families and the public to do inquiries into government documents. So they did all of these different levels, whether administrative or legal, within the judicial system. And now is the last stop for some form of justice. So this is basically their last plea for them to kind of have some type of closure to this case, as well as understanding as to what actually happened. I think people think just because they received the $5.9 million settlement that they know exactly what happened. They know that their son is dead. They know that it was a murder. However, why did they even stop him? Why was there so many lies in the report, so many inconsistencies? And this is what the judicial inquiry is trying to seek.
Yeah, I mean, no amount of money can bring back a loved one. Carrie Ann, if there's not going to be any legal rulings and no one will be charged, is the purpose of this hearing, is it just about accountability at this point, to get it in black and white on paper?
It's definitely about accountability and transparency. And I think as the Black community, nationally speaking, this is a great precedent. And in the legal community, as I'm looking at it from a lawyer's perspective, it is amazing to see that we are using a section of the New York City Charter that is rarely used. and we're having a precedent on the books. So now we're putting the police force, we're putting government officials on notice that you can no longer come into the Black community and just slay us down in the streets and lie without some form of accountability and transparency. I think there was always the conundrum of qualified immunity. And for those that don't know, it's equivalent to the blue shield of them not being held liable for misconduct. Now we're picking away at it, and we're showing that our community is here to stay. We have advocacy, and we're not going to be killed in the street without any type of recourse or without any type of information as to why we're being brutalized. Whereas in other communities, you can get proper treatment when they go in to deal with a criminal issue.
Yeah, and to just piggyback off of that qualified immunity for our viewers, that was a sticking point as to why we can't get federal legislation on police reform on the books in the name of George Floyd. So again, to piggyback off of another point that you made, are you basically saying that this inquiry sends a message to NYPD and other city officials as well? And if so, tell us more about what that message means, and could it also lead to more police reform?
It definitely sends a message. This particular judicial inquiry has not occurred since former Mayor Giuliani's time, which is quite over 10 years. So we have not seen it in action. It also sends a message that there must be accountability. I know that the judge said that Mayor de Blasio, as well as some of the commissioners, do not have to testify because of what the law department argued in the case is that the police force actually being governed by the commissioner and the mayor they do not have a duty to actually reprimand or discipline the officers for misconduct, which was a very strange argument in this particular matter. However, I think now that it's open to the public and the public can see what is the issues at hand, what is the lack of training that the sergeants went through, why were they putting misinformation about how many the charges that they were doctoring up regarding Eric Garner, regarding the felony cigarette tax evasion. Why was there such inconsistencies? And then also the text messages that came out that said basically no big deal about his death. One of the sergeants literally said that. And that was eye-opening to everyone. I believe even the commissioner was probably in utter shock by that statement. And I think our community deserves answers, and this is going to set a precedent, and we love it.
Yeah, well, we know that your Attorney General, Letitia James, also announced some robust reforms to policing in the state of New York. What else would you like to see, Carrie Ann, take place?
For me, community policing is very important, meaning we need officers that are from our community, that look like us, that understand our issues, understand our culture, and actually believe that we're humans. One thing that I noticed from the Eric Garner case, as well as what I consider an unfortunate repeat in the George Floyd case of the "I can't breathe" statements, is that when people come into our community, it's almost like we're not humans. And that mentality stems from slavery. The dehumanization of the Black body is something that we have normalized, and especially with our Black men. So we need community policing, and we need better training. And when I say training, true education on racial issues. We cannot be afraid to say what it is. We know that police officers, when they go into opulent neighborhoods, they can behave in proper manners, meaning if they go into a high earning community, and even if the person looks just as big as Eric Garner in height and in size, and he equally is selling loosies, they will not attack him in the same manner. And that is something that training needs to gut out if we really want change. We have to deal with racism and the remnants of slavery. And until then, we're pretty much just gonna keep going in this cycle. So I hope that we have better training on diversity and inclusion, and as well as better community policing.
All right, Carrie Ann Burke, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.